We'll see.
Well, the short call this morning wasn't short.
But I expected that, I'm so sorry that it always spills over, though, with the data commons work.
Yeah, no, but from what I've seen in the past, it makes complete sense the way things are working out.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm hoping we'll have a relatively short meeting today. So. Hello.
Hello, Anu.
Hi, Jing.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, a little better, but it's just hard with the cough.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, hey. Okay, so I guess we could also get started. So on the call I have Elizabeth, Nansu, Jeff.
The conference has been unmuted.
Jing, is there somebody that I missed?
Hello, this is Nansu.
Fiat and here.
Firat is there, yeah. Sorry, Firat and Ergen is also there?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I thought Ergen would have gone to the EMEA summit.
Not this time.
Too much traveling, huh? Okay, so actually on the agenda, we just there are just a couple of updates, and then maybe we can talk about what we are doing right now, and that's about it. There's not really anything specific, so it should, I think, get done pretty quickly. For the GDC and TCIA, we have the updated transformations and ingestions that Jeff's team is working on, and that's ongoing. Jeff, do you have any update with Dan Hall?
Yeah, he got back in touch with me, and we're trying to get together with the developer. So
okay.
But we haven't. No time has been set yet.
Okay. For the Viper and IRD.
Actually, I think we did set a time for next week. Yeah. Next Tuesday. Sorry.
Okay, so I guess in a week or two, then we'll have something more concrete for us to move on, right?
Yeah, I know exactly, and getting back up to speed with his repaired wrist, and so he's currently finishing up the testing which he was finalizing for the automatic ingestion or the automatic crawling, and then we'll move to sort of the backlog of the new data since he's been out.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about Burak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since I was giving an update, I figured I'd throw in the rest of my update. So.
All right. So Nansu is working on import right now. That's right, Nansu?
Yes.
Okay. Also today, I received an email from Matthew from ICPSR, and he said that he would be sending out an URL for us to test the ICPSR data with and without variables. And his comment was that the addition of the variable level metadata was actually going on better than what he had expected. So I think that's a good thing. So probably later on during the week, this week, we'll get the URL for us to test. So Jeff, I'll forward that to you, I guess.
Okay.
And then we can talk about how we want to display this. And maybe, I don't know if you want to normalize it or not.
Okay. Once the URL, we can take a look.
Yeah. So that's good. And for the DATS conversion on API, Firat, do we have any updates?
So I checked the mapping file, but it's not changed since the previous week.
Oh, Alejandra hasn't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, and I forgot to remind her. Sorry about that. I'll write a mail.
Yeah, just shoot an email.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And I saw, Jeff, that for the draft topic list, you put in your comments.
Yep.
And Alejandra also put in all of her comments, and I did too. But Jeff, can you please? I just did it today too. Can you please go in there and take a look at it?
Okay.
To see if we need to elaborate on anything a little bit more in a little bit more detail.
Okay.
And then once we have that, I'll send the link to Ian. So Elizabeth, this is the topic list that Ian was talking about at the EC meeting today.
I'm on the call, Anu, by the way, so if you need any update on it. So sorry, I joined quietly.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, but anyway, keep going.
So I just wanted to say that Ian, we have this up on a Google Doc, and we have some responses for you. And I was going to ask Jeff if maybe you could I can put this in the chat window, and you can take a look at it and see if you have questions, if you want more details, etc. We can go back to providing some additional details.
Okay, I'm not going to be in front of a screen until 10 minutes or so.
Okay. So let me just put that in the chat window. This is just so that it would be easy for us to write the responses, but I think it's convenient too. And I don't see Philippe or Alejandra. Are you on the call? Probably not. I think Philippe said that he wouldn't be on the call this week, right?
Yeah, he's at a meeting.
All right. So then we talk about this. So Alejandra, actually, when she was providing details about the data type ontology, she also had some additional information in this document, that the link for which I've put in the chat box, and I can show that. So I was going over that, and I think she also said that they have looked at some, based on the fair sharing, they've looked at the subject and domain ontologies for us to take a look, which could be potentially used for data type annotations. So this is something I think we need to look at, Jeff. But this has to be looked at by somebody who's familiar with different domains. So is there a curator or somebody at your end, Jeff, who could take a look at it, or?
So this is for the
this is for the data type ontology. If you remember, they did a first pass with the data type ontology, which was in this GitHub repository, right? It's called the resource annotation ontology.
But looking at it in terms of because it contained a lot of, I mean, it was pretty big, right? It was sort of fairly large.
Right.
Included.
So I haven't actually looked at these links because I kind of looked at it only today. So maybe we can take a look at it and then talk about this next week.
Because we talked. We had one call, where we sort of went over some of the details, but it was a fairly, because it included lots of different categories. So the question was exactly how would we want to apply it?
Right, and I remember that Philippe and Alejandra were asking to see kind of if there were any data type annotations that are being exported by the repositories themselves that we have in DataMed.
Well, there are a couple fields placed, like in terms of the. So yeah, I mean we can. If Philippe's on the call next week, we can talk about that. Yeah.
Right, and then we probably also want to talk about if we want to use this, how we are going to actually implement it, right?
Yeah, no, that was the biggest question I had because it was fairly broad, and there were like different types of domains, so I wasn't sure how we were. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about it a little bit more in the next meeting. So that's that. I think once they are here, we talk about that. So in terms of the new features of DataMed, we currently have Firat. He's continuing to work with Alejandra and to figure out and have the output is in DATS. Also for the search engine, I have an update. We received all the code and updated code from the Emory folks. I think this was on Friday. And we have also received documentation. So Jing is taking a look at it, and once she is more familiar with it, we can talk about implementation. For common data elements, we've had a postdoc in Hua's lab actually build an encoding algorithm to map common data elements to variables, and he does have a preliminary algorithm that he's built. So I've asked him if he could present his work to the CDT. So I'm waiting to hear back from him, and once he can do that, then we can talk about it. I know that he used the Phoenix mapping that we got from Helen, where they had mapped CDEs to dbGaP variables, and then based on that was how the algorithm was built. I haven't personally yet seen the evaluation etc. of the algorithm, so that's something that he could present to the CDT in the next couple of weeks, and then we can move forward with it after that. So that's basically the update, all the update that I have. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? Any other updates that we have to discuss? Absolute silence. So that means obviously then there's nothing else for us to discuss?
So I'm in front of a screen now. Anu, was there something you wanted me to look at?
So in the chat window, I put the link to the document.
Okay.
And that basically just has, you remember that you sent a draft list of topics for the BioCADI workshop, and you had a couple of questions for the CDT.
Okay.
So Jeff, Alejandra, and I have filled out that question. Filled out the later stages, I guess. So if you could take a look at that, and if there are any more questions or clarifications that you require, we can provide that.
I don't see anything in chat at the moment. Can you just email it to me?
Sure, I will. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? If not, then that's all. Thank you for calling in.
Feel better,
and
Anu.
I apologize for coughing through the meeting. Thanks.
All right. Very well.
Bye.
Bye.